I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Quarantine with the Stars. This is the fun show we're doing here on AfterBuzz TV, where we try to entertain all of you at home while we're all at home ourselves. I am Brian Thomas, and I am chatting with the absolutely amazing, multi-talented Titus, aka Butterfly Ali. Titus, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hey. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
I am so excited to talk about your music, your acting projects, and of course, what you're up to during quarantine. So let's just get right started.
Alrighty.
So tell me a little bit about you and how you got into music.
So I had started in music. I mean, I did it since I was a kid. Acting's actually the thing that kind of came out of nowhere for me. But I was just the kid who sang everywhere. And my mom was like, why don't you go on and be in that talent show? So I did the talent shows, and I was the kid in high school that did the national anthems at pep rallies and all that stuff. So it was I was kind of always in me, and my mom and dad let me do it.
I love that. So your new single, Righteous, is out. I listened to the snippet you have on your Instagram. It sounded so fun. But more than anything, it's sending this positive message out there. So tell me about that single.
Yeah, so I wrote Righteous. I write everything. I co-write everything with my buddy Aaron Kellum, fantastic writer and artist. I wrote that one. I came up with the idea for that one because of people who I felt kind of were either persecuting me or witness kind of make judgments towards other people. And it's like
Mhm.
so soon we forget that we're just as flawed and messed up,
Yes.
but so quick people are to think that they're better than somebody. So it's really about those who think that they're righteous or self-righteous and make you want to feel like you're less because they have this huge opinion of themselves when really we're all just as flawed.
For sure. And you also
Yeah.
have a new single coming out tomorrow entitled Listen to Me. You're giving
Yeah.
me all the Unchained Melody vibes in that song. So tell me
Yes.
everything about that as well.
So that's one of my favorite songs. I enjoy them all, but that one was just from such a raw space for me. That one I really just wrote technically after a breakup, but I wrote it from the angle of like a prayer to God, to where I was like, hey, if you're up there, which I personally know you are, just hear me out. And if this is right, make it happen. And if not, take it away. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I'm so excited for all the music you have. I'm absolutely going to be downloading them on my Spotify right when we disconnect. So now that we
Yes.
talked about
Thank
your
you.
music, let's get into your acting. So
Yeah.
before we talk about The Rookie, I have to just talk about Glee for a second. Glee is my absolute favorite TV show in all of history. And I know you were on it. You played one of the Warblers. So what was it like on that show?
Yay. It was awesome. I mean, it was my first speaking role ever. I was terrified. That was probably what, 7, 8 years ago. It was such a great experience. I mean, it was exactly what it looked like. It was a huge show. It took the world by storm, or whatever that saying is. And I literally am just blown away that it even happened. It was a fantastic stepping stone. It opened up a lot of other doors for me, and I met a lot of really great people from it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. You make me want to go back and watch the whole 6 seasons, which I'll probably be doing
I
during this
did.
quarantine.
Is that weird that I did? I went back and I was like, let me just go see how it looks now. Could you go back and watch something? And you're like, oh my gosh, wait, I didn't realize one, that it looked like, now you go back to season one, you're like, oh, it kind of looks old now. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like how
it does.
shows
It
kind of
has
look
that.
old,
Yeah, definitely the
kind of
quality
dated
isn't
look.
as like HD, 4K, 9K, whatever we have
Right,
now. Super
right,
crystal clear. So I 100% agree. When I watch old shows, I'm like, man, this is not like I remember, but
right. But it's still hilarious and amazing. I'm like, that was a great show.
seriously, like I always see these little snippets on like social media. Like people would be like, throw back to Glee. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember laughing so hard, like on my couch to that moment. So I
Right,
love it. All
right.
right. So speaking of quarantine, this girl, Miss Rona, and this quarantine is kind of getting to me. So tell me
Yeah.
what you are doing to stay sane during all of this. How are you keeping busy?
For me personally, a lot of reading, prayer time, exercise, TikTok.
Same.
Um, that little trap is intense. I get sucked into TikTok. And then also Hulu and Netflix have been holding it down. Oh, and I discovered that I enjoy cooking. Didn't know I enjoyed cooking. And I was like, oh, I actually like having control over what I'm gonna eat. Like
hmm
I planned for it. And I'm like, oh, tonight I'll probably prepare the salmon. That'd be nice. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's kind of cool.
Well, you mentioned Netflix and Hulu. Of course, this interview is for AfterBuzz TV. We are the ESPN of TV talk. So, what are you watching on those platforms?
My gosh, there's so many things. You know, you like binge watch and you switch to something else. But the one thing on Netflix that I really, really love that I keep referring to people is the limited series called Self Made.
Oh, I
It's
saw
with
that. Yes.
Octavia Spencer. I love that. I love period stuff, and I just really enjoyed that. And then also there's a kind of a docu series called Goop Lab. I don't know if you ever heard of that
Mm,
with
I don't think
Gwyneth
I've seen that one.
Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow, like she's like they kind of go around the world testing all these theories to like health and immunity, like breathing exercises and like all these different types of things that help people's health without medicine. Without medicine, you know, it's really
Yes.
fascinating. Anyway, yeah,
Definitely. Well, you're definitely keeping busy, which is great. And speaking of being busy,
yeah,
you are booked and busy because you currently play on The Rookie. So, for those who
yeah.
aren't familiar with the show, tell everyone a little bit about it and your character.
Yeah, so the show obviously called The Rookie. It's about rookie cop Nolan, who's played by Nathan Fillion. He is older gentleman. He decides to go back and become a cop and joins two younger rookies, which is myself and Melissa O'Neill. And we have our training officers, and it's kind of just following the life of a cop and what we deal with, what they have to deal with on a daily basis, but also even more so the personal lives and kind of what they have to juggle with their personal lives and leaving that and going to work and still having to deal with things at home. It's very much the cop version of Grey's Anatomy.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I'm actually watching 911 Lone Star right now, which is kind of like it's like the fire EMT of that. It's
Yeah,
amazing. You should check
exactly.
that out, by the way. It's
Yeah,
so
911's
good.
great. Mhm.
Yeah. So before we say goodbye, is there anything else you'd like to shout out to the people about our current state of the world right now?
Honestly, try to keep peace of mind. There's like an awesome scripture that I hold on to. And it's just actually not even scripture. It's kind of a Christian mantra, or it's a scripture. Actually, I take that back. I was like, let me not quote anything I don't know, but I believe it is a scripture, and it's "This too shall pass." And it's just one of those things that's so short, but it's like there's so many things that happen to us and happen to the world, and we're terrified at the time because we don't know, because we can't see the future. And
Hmm.
but we get through it, and then it goes so far past us that we forget it was even a thing. So just know that this too shall pass, and we can make it through. Just stick together, safer at home, stay clean, and be considerate.
Absolutely. That's the perfect way for us to end. Titus, where can people find you on social media and where can they find your music?
At Titus Makin on everything, and my music, Butterfly Lee, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, all of the above. Yeah,
Awesome. And of course, your new single, Listen to Me, is coming out tomorrow. So everybody
tomorrow.
go and check that out. I am your host, Bryant Santos. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Bryant Santos. Again, Titus, thank you so much for joining me. This is Quarantine
Yeah,
with the Stars. I will see you all back here, same time, same place tomorrow because we are not going anywhere. Stay safe, stay positive, and most importantly, like Titus said, stay home. Thank you, Titus, for
right.
joining me. And thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.